if you're supposed to be a serious contender, you got to win games like that. And they just did not. They did not pull the game out like they were supposed to. The defense looked better than last year, but they still didn't look very good. They let a lot of big plays happen that should not have happened. With the new defense and having the players in the right place. It looked like they had a couple of little mental lapses that just can't happen. But I do expect them to rectify those situations in practice. They just need to have something on film so they can correct it. I believe in this. I believe in this coaching staff this year with Blake Baker and bringing Coach Bo down there with the defensive line and the whole defensive overhaul on the coaches. I do believe in them, and I don't think they're going to stand for it. So I do expect a better team next week, and I expect them to beat the hell out of Nichols. But they are my losers this week. Like I said, I do expect them to bounce back and beat Nichols next week. But, you know, I do expect my little nephew, Keontae Williams, over there playing for Nichols. I expect him to show out. But everybody else, you know, I believe big LSU.
Yeah.
I know you guys been preaching about Kyron Lacey. We saw Kyron Lacey, all right.
I hate the fact that they didn't use him more in the second half.
Hold on.
Yeah, they started off real on him hard, but then they just got up off of him. I don't know if they changed and started doubling him or whatever, but we should have been forcing it to him.
I got a question for you guys. Speaking of overreacting, a lot of people, I kind of think they might have been overreacting because of the gesture Kyron Lacey made after the touchdown.
He deserved the flag. I ain't gonna lie. He did.
Okay.
I'm an LSU fan, but that you can't do that.
The overreaction that I think is by the public. I think the ref did the right thing.
Yeah.
But by the public, come on, bro. Y'all, so that's that horrible. Like, you know what I mean? That's football, bro. Y'all, you know what he did, man. That's no different than Brandon Cooks with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He did that. No, he shouldn't have done it. Do I think that affected the game? No. I don't think that
Kyron Lacey was a huge factor in this game, though. Nussmeier, he knew who to go to when he needed a big play or a first down because he targeted him about 10 times. Little shy over 100 yards receiving. I kind of want to see him, you know, target more of the rest of the receivers. He did go to Anderson more than a couple times. So, you know,
we had a receiver out too.
Yeah, Hilton was out.
Hilton is going to be his second receiver when he plays.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, the play of the game to me, I know people not talking about it. To me, the play of the game, and I get it. Trust me, I understand. I'm not questioning the play call because it was 3rd and 1, but it was like 2nd and long. They get the pass completion. I don't want to lie to who it went to. I forgot who it went to, but it was 3rd and 1. It was right before the field goal for LSU ties the game. They run it. I believe with Emory Jones. I believe with John Emery. I'm tripping right now. John Emery. They hand the ball up to John Emery. And John Emery was playing good. But to me, that was your chance to catch him. To catch him. They wait for that running back to get the ball. You hit him with a little dump off. You could have ran the play that you ran against Alabama a few years ago for the 2-point conversion. Just get the first down and keep the clock going. Don't give the ball back to Miller Moss and them. Even if you end up kicking the field goal, you go into overtime. But I didn't like the play call because I thought it was too obvious of what they were going to do.
You could have did a little dump off to Emory. I think they wanted to get the ball in Emory's hand. You did a little dump off to Emory and let him make things happen now. Me, I think Emory Jones, I think he pulled himself away from the running back committee, showing that he's the best back there, like I predicted. But I think that's who they want to lean on if they're going to be running the ball. They want to lean on Emory Jones.
And I know the LSU coaching staff is going to say we have one of the best O-lines, but I just felt like that was the time to hit them. Hit them with something just to make sure, you know, that they're expecting the running back to get the ball. Hit them with a little something. Yeah, like it was just too predictable. And I don't care how good your offensive line is. If they cave that with all their players, at the end of the day, they're gonna stop it. I just feel like a little dump off, a little roll out, hit a little receiver or a tight end. I think it would have been, big time for LSU. They needed that first down. They didn't get it. Then you know what happens when Miller Moss came back out? He came back out, drove him down the field. Game over. I mean, it was just a minute left in a little over a minute left in the game. Take as much time off that clock as possible. Even if you don't pick up the first down throwing the ball, I know I'd be sitting there saying, why didn't you run the football? But I just feel like the pass would have been a much better option. As I'm watching the game, I'm like, bruh, pass the ball in this situation. Do not try, because they hurried up the offense, so you knew they were going to run the football.
And it's funny you brought up the offensive line. You know who I was most disappointed with that whole game last
Will
night?
Campbell.
Will Campbell.
Absolutely.
I couldn't understand it, man, especially with the false starting. I'm like, bruh, you supposed to be the best lineman in the country, and you keep false starting? No, bro, you can't keep false starting, man. And a couple of times he get a couple of Olay blocks that I was like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? So Will got to play damn sure got to play better, especially for to be the best offensive lineman in the country.
And can we say Kyron Hudson possibly may have the best play of the week?
Or that was nasty. That was nasty.
Hey, he had two. I like the second. The first one might have been more impressive, but the second one was more meaningful.
But that was a dot. For Miller, that was a dot. Like, dog, that was a dot. Like, I'm giving that man his flowers. Dog, he threw it right behind the corner, right in front of the safety. I mean, a dot. I give credit where credit's due, man. Miller did that.
I will say this. Him and Nussmeier both were throwing dots last night.
Yeah, they were.
But Nussmeier in the fourth quarter, he was tripping. He had Aaron Anderson on that little dump off, and I don't know where the hell he threw the ball at. It was like super behind him. If you throw it to him, he probably picks up the first down. Whole different game. Man, bro. I thought Nussmeier didn't play great in the second half. I'm gonna just.
I think both of these teams will be all right though moving forward though. I expect LSU to be 5-1 before they meet up with Ole Miss. Because they got to play, I think, games ahead of them. They got Nicholls State coming up. They got South Carolina. They got UCLA still. I think they playing South Alabama. So I expect
we don't ever schedule Cupcake's first game, but the second game we usually go with.
UCLA might be, they might be,
I mean, we got Nicholls next. We got South Carolina, UCLA, and then South Alabama. I'm going to the South Alabama game. The Ole Miss game is going to be the real test.
Yeah.
And do I think we're ready right now for Ole Miss? Absolutely not. But
I think they are, though, man. I think they are. I think people are overlooking the type of team USC is, though, because USC is not no cupcake or average team.
But
USC
all right, you said we're ready. We lost to USC. Is Ole Miss better than USC in your eyes?
Well, I don't know. Hey, you don't believe in Ole Miss either.
I don't believe in them for national champions. I think they're good though. I think they're better than USC. I think if we had to play them to this week coming up, I would pick Ole Miss. But I don't know in 5 weeks.
I would roll with LSU though if they played Ole Miss today. I think one loss doesn't change anything though. Like
I would have picked Ole Miss if we'd have played them first. Just because I know we start off slow for some reason, and I'm not gonna bring it on Chip Kelly because we lost that first game of the season the year before he came. But I mean, not Chip Kelly. What's his name? Brian Kelly. We lost that first game of the year before he came. But I will say, for some reason, under Brian Kelly, we come out with a slow start. Maybe we do need to start scheduling some cupcakes for the first game so we can beat up a couple of people and come into our
confidence up.
Yeah.
You do have Nicholls State next week.
Yeah, but that should have been game one.
Mm.
My biggest overreaction is USC. USC, USC being better than I think people are gonna think they're better than they actually are, because I think even though they did beat LSU last night, I don't think that I still don't see them being like a very good team this year. Like, I don't see them being like one of the upper echelon teams this year. I see them having 3-4 losses this year.
They in a
Florida,
tough conference, though.
You
They
want
are in a
you
tough
want to
conference.
know?
yeah. So I think people are going to say they had a head and shoulders above their conference right now, and I don't believe that. I believe that there's still room for improvement there. What's his name? Mouse.
Miller Moss.
Miller Moss. I think that he had a great game. I do think he had a great game, but I think that people are going to overreact with this LSU win. I don't think that they're going to be. They're not going to. I don't see them making a playoffs or anything like that.
Hey, I
But
want to say this though. See, I'm gonna give him this credit, bro. Miller Moss was dropping dots out there.
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
cause I know everybody's gonna go crazy over LSU losing that game, but dog, Miller Moss was dropping dots.
He
The offsides call, which was gonna be offsides, but in that corner end
and he
zone,
hit that.
like
Oh, that
dog,
was nasty.
no, there was nothing the corner could have did. Like, I'm not even mad at the corner for getting beat on that play, because the ball was literally put right where it needed to be. He was dropping dots, and that's what concerned me about USC. Lincoln Riley is a good head coach, especially offensively, and that's why I was like, man, I'm picking LSU because I do think LSU is more talented. And I'll be honest with y'all, before Keo even goes, I still think LSU's a better team than them. I think LSU, like Brian Kelly said, let one slip away. But I give USC credit. You may say I'm overreacting. USC is not going to be no pushover this year, especially if their defense play like they did yesterday and they run the football like they did yesterday.
All right,
Yeah.
my overreaction. I'm gonna give you it's a overreaction. All right,
Here we go.
after watching last night's game between USC and LSU, I got both of them making it to the playoffs.
Wow.
Wow.
You better than I am.
I think I always said that it's always good to lose early instead of late in the season, and and obviously, you know, it's good to lose early because you could bounce back. You could bounce right back, and I think USC, man, they showed that. I was I was wrong about their defense though, man, because I did kind of question it in the second half, and they stopped LSU at some pivotal moments also. Um, and the offense looks good also. I kind of want to see more of the running game, because LSU's defense, I could tell they did improve because they at USC couldn't run the ball at all. I'm not going to say they couldn't
Coming
run
to
the
the last
ball.
position.
Yeah, I'm not going to say they couldn't run the ball at all, because they made some major runs and some plays during the running game. But LSU's defense made some plays, and obviously LSU's offense is not the question at all. I think they're still a good team. Because they did lose to a good team, though, man. They did lose to a good team at the end of the day. I don't know. I think X called USC a sleeper, if I'm mistaken.
All I'm saying is Lincoln Riley's a good head coach, bro. Like, people are sleeping on Lincoln Riley. Like, Lincoln Riley can coach. And what was scary about USC is you don't know. That unknown factor is scary because you don't know who the star players. You don't know who they're going to. And USC played well yesterday. I don't know if I would call them a playoff team. I don't know if I can call LSU a playoff team after this point, because LSU has to play in the SEC, which is going to be a gauntlet.